Good evening, everyone. This is Robert. RJL Network presents another edition of Marvel Champions, the card game. Tonight, we continue the Rise of Red Skull campaign, or from the campaign set from Marvel Champions. And we are in scenario 4 tonight, as Spider-Man will starter deck will take on Zola. I have already decided to make a change in this. If instead the hero gets beaten in any scenario, instead of the next hero taking over at where we are at, that new hero will take over. But we will go all the way back to Rhino and move our way forward again. Makes it a little bit more interesting as we get to see how the starter decks will do against the earlier heroes, villains as well. Scenario number 4, Zola. Having defeated Taskmaster, you learn that Hydra has not only captured New York City, but all of the United States. It was the mad scientist Arnim Zola who built a machine to harness the power of the reality gem and tip the balance of power in Hydra's favor. He has created a research station for himself on Ellis Island and turned the historic part into a nightmarish prison for his unfortunate test subjects. Taskmaster was ordered to bring the heroes he captured there for experimentation. In this upside down America, you are the only hope the captives have to escape a horrible fate. So this is scenario number 4, Zola. And let's see what we have to do here. So Zola will use standard Zola, stage 1, scheme of 2, attack of 1. He has retaliate 1, so anytime he is attacked, damage goes back on the thing that on the hero that attacked him. We start with scenario 1A, the Island of Dr. Zola. It uses the standard encounter sets and 1 modular encounter set, which is under attack. We search the encounter deck for Hydra Prison and reveal it. Each player searches the encounter deck for a copy of Ultimate Bioservant and puts it into play, engage with them, and we shuffle the encounter deck. So we look for a Hydra Prison, which I've pretty much found. Hydra Prison, each player searches their deck, discard pile in hand for a hero-specific ally and places it face down beneath the scheme. Place X threat on this scheme, where X is the total cost of all allies beneath it. Each player shuffles their deck. When defeated, remove this scheme from the game and return each ally beneath it to its owner's hand. So the one thing about this is you can choose the ally you want to put in it. The thing is how much threat do you want to put on the scheme is the question. So I think what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and put Mockingbird under the Hydra Prison. So that makes Hydra Prison a threat. Her cost is a 3. Her cost is 3 and plus add 1. So Hydra Prison is going to have 4 threat on it. Hydra Prison does not do anything specific to the main scheme. And we will now shuffle the deck here. I would like to let you guys know I have done 2 practice runs with the Spider-Man Justice deck against Zola. I was not able to beat him. This could be Spider-Man's last shot here to move forward in the in Marvel Champions. We then search the counter deck for an Ultimate Bioservant, and there we go. The Ultimate Bioservant gets toughness and gets +1 attack for each attachment on it. This thing about this deck here for Zola, this is a very heavy minion deck. It's a very heavy minion deck. And it really is. It's a very heavy minion deck. And I'll be honest, I had problems with this Justice deck. I was able to get past Zola, his first stage, but I could not beat the second stage. So I remember the rules are if I lose twice in his first stage, okay, if I lose once in his first stage, I get another chance. But if I lose once in his, but then if I lose twice in his first stage, he is done. If I lose once in the second stage, he is done. So it is up to Spider-Man to see if he can beat Zola this time. And we shall find out and see if we can. We did not do very well with the we really did not do very well uh in the practice runs, but let's see how we do. So let's start here with Zola. We start with 6 cards. Backflip, Interrogation Rune, Haymaker, Nick Fury for Justice, and Tenacity. I'm going to keep for Justice. I'm going to keep Backflip. I'm definitely going to keep Nick Fury. And we'll get rid of Tenacity, the Interrogation Room, and Haymaker. Draw 3 more. Swinging Web Kick, Great Responsibility, and Swinging Web Kick. Well, that's a good start. That is a good start, so let's see what we can do. Getting Nick Fury is a help to try to go ahead and do as much damage as possible. All right, so let's go to our turn here for this here. And the Island of Dr. Zola, after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, place 1 test counter here. Then if there are 3 or more test counters here, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. Put that minion into play, engage with the first player, and remove 3 test counters from the scheme. This, as I said, this is a very heavy minion. This is a very heavy minion villain here, Zola. So he can be tough. This is more, I think, an aggression aspect would be better to deal with this one here. But we're only using the starter deck for Spider-Man, and he uses Justice. We'll see if he can make through it, or will Captain Marvel get her turn very shortly. So we start with Peter Parker generating a resource. And with that resource, we're going to play Great Responsibility. And we're going to go ahead and play Great Responsibility, Backflip for Justice, and we're going to put out Nick Fury. Nick Fury, of course, can do some good stuff here. Peter Parker will flip. He will attack for 2, taking out the tough. Nick Fury does 4 damage to an enemy. He'll get rid of the Bioservant. And he will attack for... Do I want him to attack or do I want him to thwart? I'm going to have him attack for 2. Do 2 points of damage on Zola just like that. I'm going to keep both swinging web kicks. And who knows? The only way maybe I beat Zola is by knocking him in the next week as possible. So we ready our heroes. We'll draw 3 cards, getting Heroic Intuition, Web Shooter, and Enhanced Spider Sense. Okay, so it is Zola's turn. We put a threat on the scheme, and it gets 1 test counter. Zola will attack for 1. Nick Fury defends. So he attacks for 1, plus 2 is 3, and it's good to see the eviction notice go away. So Nick Fury goes away there as he's beaten. We get 1 encounter card, and it is a Mind Ray. Thank you very much there, Steeler fan. We'll see you later there. Mind Ray. Let's see. When revealed, hero Zola attacks you, you are stunned. Ouch. So he attacks me. Oh, by the way, we do get a card for that, getting Genius. He attacks me, so Zola attacks for, and we get another card for the attack, so Zola getting a surveillance team. Attacks for 1, plus 1 is 2. We're going to take it, and Spider-Man's going to go down to 8. All right, so let's see what we do here. And he is stunned, by the way. Spider-Man is stunned. All right, it's our turn. Spider-Man will attack. Removes the stun. We are going to play Genius and the Surveillance Team for a swinging web kick. Swinging web kick, deal 8 damage to an enemy. And he will bring that down to that. He had 10, so he's now down to 2. He retaliates for 1. It is an attack. And then Spider-Man is going to use Heroic Intuition to play the web shooter. Put the web shooter into play. I'm going to keep Enhanced Spider Sense and the swinging web kick. I could have used another swinging web kick on him, but I think that's a waste of time. We'll ready our cards. Get 3. 1, 2, 3. And getting Great Responsibility, Energy, and Webbed Up. As I said, I played 2 practice runs against Zola with this deck, and I lost both of them. So I know what I got to do. I got to take him out as soon as possible. Okay. Threat and a counter. Thank you there, Matt. On the scheme. Zola will attack. Spider-Man's going to take it. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Plus 2 is 3, which will bring Spider-Man down to 4. Get the counter card for that, getting emergency. And now we get an encounter card, and it is Caught Off Guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. If no cards were discarded this way, this card gains Surge. Well, there goes the web shooter. So I lose the web shooter. Wonderful. Okay. Well, it is our turn. So far, this game is going a lot easier than the last one did. All right, Spider-Man is going to attack for 2. It's going to attack for 2. Although I could have used the Enhanced Spider Sense to keep that. Could have I? Nah, you know what? No. I think I'd keep it. So Spider-Man attacks for 2. And that will knock Zola down to 0. Spider-Man gets retaliated for 3. So already Zola's moved on to stage 2. So just like that, we moved into stage 2 quickly. He has retaliate 1 when revealed. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for the test subject side scheme and reveal it. And he has 14 hit points. So now we got to find the test subject side scheme. Which is right there. Test subjects. When defeated, the first player discards cards from the top of the encounter deck until they discard a minion. And it gets an extra encounter card, but only has 2 threat on it. It only has 2 threat. We shuffle. All right. Okay, so it is still our turn, though. So Spider-Man did attack. We're going to use Energy and Emergency, 3 there, to play a swinging web kick, deal 8 damage to an enemy. And that will bring him already down to 6. Gets retaliated down to 2. Then we're going to flip over. We're going to let him scheme up here. I already have him down. I already have him down to 6. So we already have him down to 6 already. So now we can flip over. And hopefully he can. I don't think he can scheme out. But we do have to deal with encounter cards and such. But we're going to flip over here. And I'm going to chuck Great Responsibility, Webbed Up. I'm going to keep in hand Spider Sense, though. Ready our cards. We need some allies here. For Justice, Black Cat, Surveillance Team, Interrogation Room, and Backflip. That's not bad. Okay. All right. So we get a threat, and this now goes to 3. So now a minion gets placed into the fray. So now we look for a minion, and we get a Berserk Mutate, which actually was the best minion I could have probably asked for. He's got Quick Strike, but doesn't work because Peter Parker is in alter ego mode here. All right, and now the counters go back down here. Zola gets to scheme. He's probably going to go ahead and scheme into the next one here. So Zola schemes for 2. Plus, 0. Wow, 0. So he only schemes for 2. So now there is 5 on here. Wow, he did not scheme into the next stage. Oh boy, okay. But now we have 2 encounter cards I got to deal with due to test subjects. Got 2 encounter cards I got to deal with. So, encounter card number 1, Concussive Blast. When revealed, deal 1 damage to each friendly character. Ouch. And now he's down to 1. If he takes 1 damage left, he's out. Assault. When revealed, Alter Ego. This card gains Surge. Ultimate Bioservant, and it's got Toughness. So now there are 2 minions on me. But they have and he's got Toughness. The good news is there's no guard. There is no guard here. All right. So we got to get lucky, but I got to heal. That's the issue here. Question is, I have no choice because if I attack Zola, it's retaliate 1 and he goes down. So what do we do here? Let's play it smart. Unfortunately, I don't have Aunt May, but let's play it smart. Peter Parker generates a resource, and we're going to use that to put down Interrogation Room. We're going to recover for 3. Cover for 3. Flip. We're going to play Surveillance Team and Enhanced Spider Sense to play for Justice. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. 4 threat instead of use the mental resource, which we did. So 4 threat will come off of this scheme, bringing it down to 1. This does not look good. Maybe we should have kept Interrogation Room instead, right? What did I do? I played his put down Interrogation Room. You know what? I thought I was going to go ahead and do some damage, but putting the Interrogation Room here doesn't help me much here. He generated a resource. We use that to put Interrogation Room. Instead of using that to put Interrogation Room, we're going to generate that resource and play Interrogation and add with Interrogation Room to put out Black Cat instead. So I'm kind of going back a little bit, but it's still going to wind up here. So instead, Black Cat's going to join us here because I need an ally. Black Cat, if you play Black Cat, you get 2 cards. Strength and the Power of Justice, which is useful. Black Cat is going to attack for 1 Actually, yeah, it's gonna attack for 1 and take out the tough for the Bioservant. So it kind of went backwards a little bit. And we're gonna keep the backflip, the strength, and the power of justice. We're gonna ready our cards. Get 2 Daredevil and Enhanced Spider Sense. All right, depending on what happens with the next cards, we may be able to hold out here. We'll find out. All right. Put a threat. 1 test subject. Zola will attack. Black Cat will defend. Spider-Man gets a card, getting a helicarrier. Attacks for 2. Plus boost. Shuffle Zola's mutate into the encounter deck. So he only does 2 points of damage, but Black Cat is gone. We may be able to hold out here. All depends how the cards go. Ultimate Bioservant attacks for 1 and give the villain a tough status card, so he gets back the tough. Berserk Mutate attacks for 2. So once again, Spider-Man is down to 1. How about this? So Spider-Man is down to 1. We got 2 encounter cards to deal with because of test subjects. I'm kind of like not dealing with these to try to knock him out as soon as I possibly can. Well, these 2 encounter cards can decide. I do have 1 backflip and 1 enhanced Spider Sense. First encounter card is Advance. The villain schemes. Yeah, he can do that. He can do that. I'll let it go. So he schemes for 2. Plus 3 is 5. Ouch. So this will scheme out here. So now we go to 2A. Each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion and reveals it. Shuffle the encounter deck. So he schemes for 5. So now he's the Mad Doctor. And he searches the encounter deck for and discard pile, which means we can put any one we want here. And we're going to put down another Berserk Mutate. Or do I want to put that down? And reveals it. If it's a reveal, he quick strikes. No, I can't put him out. We're going to put out... No, we don't want to put him out. We're going to put out an Ultimate Bioservant, and he gets toughness. And we'll shuffle. Now the second encounter card. Zola's Mutate. When revealed, discard cards on the top of the encounter deck until attack attachment is discarded. Attach that card to Zola's Mutate. As long as he does not get guard, I may be able to win this. May be able to win it. I'm not sure. So now we discard cards on the top of the encounter deck until a tech attachment. And it's defensive programming. And that's the one we didn't want. Attach the minion with the most remaining hit points without another copy of defensive programming attached. If you cannot, this card gains surge. Attached minion gets plus 2 hit points and gains guard. And because he gains guard, I now cannot attack Zola. I got to take him out first. That was the one. It was the one way we could lose this. And then we flip this over. And the Mad Doctor 2B, after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, place 1 test counter here. Then if there are 3 or more test encounters here, discard cards on the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. Maybe I should have used Enhanced Spider Sense because then the villain wouldn't have schemed, and then it would have been the first card anyway. All right, so is there any way we can beat this thing? Well, I got Zola's Mutate. And he's got He has 7 hit points due to defensive programming, and he gains guard. So I cannot attack him, and I got 3 minions in front of me. We were off to a great start, but it did not last. Well, let's see what happens here. So, I'm going to play Strength, Helicarrier, and the Power of Justice to put out Daredevil, which will give me an ally. Daredevil is going to thwart for 2, getting rid of the test subjects. He does a damage on an enemy, which is going to have to be, Zola's Mutate. Spider-Man will attack for 2 on Zola's Mutate, putting 3 damage on him. We are then going to flip and ready our cards, and we'll see if he schemes out. So we flip over, and we get 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm actually going to, I got in hand Spider Sense and Backflip, but I'm going to chuck these because I need to get a swinging web kick here or something. Web Shooter, Jessica Jones, Avengers Mansion, Aunt May webbed up in First Aid. I don't think that's going to save me. All right. Well, let's finish her out. So, gets a threat, gets a counter. Zola schemes for 2, plus 1 is 3. Mutate schemes for 1. Bioservant schemes for 1. Bioservant schemes for 1. So 1, 2, 3 scheme for 4 more. Which makes 7 there now. And we get an encounter card. And if the villain schemes, it's over. Concussive Blast. Deal 1 damage to each friendly character. And that did that. And that did it too. And that did it. Concussive Blast. Deal 1 damage to each friendly character. Because Peter Parker I was not able to heal him before that. That is that is it. Deal 1 damage to each friendly character. Peter Parker is down for the count. And Spider-Man, for the first time in a starter deck, Spider-Man is beaten by Zola. Got close. I don't know what, there really wasn't, I really don't think there was anything I could do here. It's just a 2 very heavy minion battle here. And just too many minions to deal with. I really don't think Spider-Man really, like I said, I tested twice against Zola, but couldn't beat him with the starter deck. So that is going to take care of Spider-Man. He loses in stage 2, which, of course, in my rules, he is down for the count and he is out. This saves Zola's bacon. If Zola's Mutate doesn't show up, I beat him. But there is not happening here, as Spider-Man is a loser here against Zola, and he is done. So with the starter deck of Spider-Man, we made it all the way to Zola, which is not bad. Very happy about that. So our next time we do Marvel Champions, we're going to go back to the beginning. I was thinking of continuing where we left off, but I'm not going to do that. I want to go back to the beginning and get practice with the starter decks against that. So our next major hero is going to be Captain Marvel. She is going to be number 2 in the list. And I already have her starter deck ready. So next up on Marvel Champions will be Captain Marvel. She uses leadership. She uses leadership as her starter deck. I think the leadership will do pretty well against Rhino and possibly well against Ultron. Against Claw, I'm not 100% sure, or the Green Goblin. The Wrecking Crew, Captain Marvel should be able to hold her own against him. But then, of course, when we get back to Red Skull, you never know. So Captain Marvel will be next here for Marvel Champions, as Spider-Man could not beat Zola. He got all the way to Zola. The starter deck got all the way there, just couldn't do it. Way too much here. Zola just had too much for Spider-Man. So it will now be Captain Marvel's turn. So that is it here for Marvel Champions. Hope you enjoyed it. For those of you who watched it today, thank you, Steeler fan, for at least joining me today. Please leave a like on your way out of the movie theater. Subscribe if you've not done so, and make sure you hit the bell. Remember, Inside Pitch 1979 season begins Monday. Giants and the Reds, so don't miss that. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong, and we'll see you guys next time. Spider-Man falls to Zola. Marvel Champions will now bring up Captain Marvel. We will see you guys next time. Take care.